Welcome back to Mastery in Minutes. I am Coy McDermott, and today we have a great one for you. It is from the amazing Lisa Nichols, and it is entitled How to Use Fear as Fuel. And this talk was around 35 minutes or so, but it was packed full of so much goodness. The main premise of it was simply redefining yourself and biohacking fear. So I wanted to actually start this with a really great quote by Mary Ann Williamson, and it reads, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give the other people around us permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others." This talk was packed full of ways to biohack fear, and I have got 7 nuggets that are going to help you to do that. So let's jump into the first. The first one was simply fear, and Lisa's acronym for it. And the acronym that she used for fear, F-E-A-R, was simply false evidence appearing real. Now, whenever I hear this, my mind immediately goes to a 6-year-old, for example, who is just learning how to ride a bike, and maybe they're now 40 or 45 and they're still holding on to that same thought or that same feeling that they couldn't ride that bike. But the interesting thing is that we're always changing. We're always evolving. In fact, the cells that you went to sleep with last night are not the same cells that you have today because we're constantly changing. We're constantly evolving. We have to let out the old air to bring in the new. So take a look at the false evidence that you have in your life and begin to remove it. The second nugget that Lisa shares with us is simply using fear as fuel. And as she was talking about using fear as fuel, she spoke about holding fear in one hand and passion in the other and taking the leap. When she spoke about taking the leap and holding fear and holding passion, I thought about my definition of courage. And courage isn't the absence of fear, it's feeling that fear, but doing it anyway. I remember when I was in the 7th grade and I was nominated to give the Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech to the entire 7th grade class. I was scared out of my mind. Not only was I this short, scrawny kid, I also had a debilitating stutter. So you can imagine that the fear began to compound very quickly. But I used the fear as fuel. In fact, it was the same fear that allowed me to stay up longer, that allowed me to continue to practice and read and read and read, that allowed me to stand in the mirror and go through my lines over and over and over. I have a dream. I have a dream. I went over this speech so much, I thought I wrote the damn thing. But that's how you can use your fear as fuel. So now on to the third nugget, and this one was a question. And the third nugget is going to require some work, and it's simply this. Are you willing to redesign the experience called you? So Lisa starts to go into a whole lot of questions. Some of the questions were, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? How big would you play if you knew that you could survive any heartbreak, breakdown, or betrayal? What if you knew that everything you were afraid of were all opportunities for you to get stronger in your faith and your resiliency? If you knew these things, how big would you play? Where would you leap? And more importantly, how would the world benefit? That's the question that I really want each and every one of you to ask yourselves. How would the world benefit from me feeling the fear, or holding fear in one hand and passion in the other, as Lisa says, and leaping, and fulfilling the greatness that we were all created for. Continue to be blessed, and I cannot wait to see you in our next episode. And always remember that your mastery is only minutes away.